4, 3, 2, 1. Take 3.
Live, KVRR local news at 8 is on right now.
Take 1.
Downtown parking is already at a premium in Fargo. Now construction is taking some of those spots away. We talked to people dealing with the difficult parking landscape.
Crops are wilting under the pressure of 3 straight years of drought. See how bad the problem is in Minnesota.
We got plenty of big events this weekend, which means more traffic closures. We have all the details as people get ready to celebrate.
And celebrate the start of the NFL season with tailgating tips plus Vikings predictions. Adam talked with Fox NFL analyst Mark Schler.
Take 1.
Live, KVRR local news at 8 is on right now.
Good morning, and just after 8 a.m., thanks for joining us for your only local news from 7 to 9 a.m. I'm Adam Ladwig.
And I'm Madeline Welker, and I don't know if I'm ready to start talking about the Vikings yet this morning, because it still feels like summer out there to me.
You got about 50 minutes before I talked with Fox NFL analyst, 3-time Super Bowl champion Mark Schler. We talked about the Vikings, how he thinks they'll do this year, whether he thinks they'll make the playoffs, Justin Jefferson's contract situation, and Mark Schler was a member of the Denver Broncos in the 90s, my hometown team, and I asked him what would have happened if the Broncos ended up playing the Vikings in the 1998 Super Bowl, you know, if Gary Anderson had made that kick. So we'll get to that. I'm sure a lot of Vikings fans are not to rub salt on old wounds. But,
Sure.
We're going to get to that in a bit. But first, let's start the hour with a check of the weather. If it matters, it's not going to matter for me. I'm going to be inside watching football all weekend. But if you are heading outside, meteorologist Mariah Bush has you covered. Good morning, Mariah.
Good morning, Adam, and good morning, Fargo. Happy Friday. And Adam, you got to get outside and take advantage of these pretty nice days because, you know, winter's right around the corner. I hate to say it, but we are heading into a very nice start to your Friday. You'll see temperatures right now 58 degrees, and we'll see, again, the nice sunrise on the KVRR tower cam there, dealing with some of that smoke and haze once again this morning, but things are pretty much continuing to improve and trying to get better through the early morning and into your weekend as well. Here on your satellite radar, pretty calm, fairly quiet. You'll see not too many things happening. There are some showers out further west moving through Montana, and they are going to work their way through our neck of the woods, but mostly we get until about your Saturday morning when some of those showers are on the way. So you have about today to head out and enjoy your Friday. Still seeing overall a mostly clear, a mostly sunny day, a few passing clouds here and there in the Northern Valley this afternoon, but as you can see, heading back into your Friday night, early Saturday morning, those clouds are definitely increasing along with some of those isolated showers out towards Jamestown and even further west out towards Bismarck as well. As you're waking up on Saturday, still seeing again some of those showers push through some of the Fargo-Moorhead area and further south through portions of Lakes Country into Fergus Falls along I-94. So keeping that in mind as you're heading out the door, if you're heading out pretty early in the morning, you may want to hold on to a lighter rain jacket if you're in the southern end of the valley heading through Saturday morning and Saturday portions of the early afternoon. But the winds today are mostly going to be on the lighter side, starting out from the south, turning around from the north around less than 10 miles per hour as we're heading through the rest of your Friday, even continuing into your Friday night, still seeing those single-digit wind speeds by the time we're heading to the end of your day. Let's talk about the smoke, though. We've been dealing with it for quite some time now, pretty much most of the summer, but of course, always keeping that in the back of your mind. You'll see here, we did see some of those higher concentrations as we went through at the beginning of the week, but things are continually improving as we're getting into today, as well as even continuing throughout the weekend. So overall, areas with patchy smoke as of right now. But here is a look into I-94 east of Fargo. Traffic is up and moving. The sun is on the rise, and looks like people are heading out to where they need to be. Of course, it is still construction season around here, so always give yourself some time to get through some of these rush hour times and, you know, your early morning commute. But here is a look at the highs across northeast North Dakota today. Fairly on the warmer side, mostly sunny, 75 in Carrington, 77 in Grafton today, and northern Minnesota, you're looking at a very nice afternoon as well. Dealing with a mostly sunny day and 79 in Monoman, 80 today in Bagley, and once you're getting through Lakes Country, a bit warmer as well. Temperatures even in the mid-80s this afternoon, 86. Looks like that warm spot in Wheaton, 80 in Fergus Falls. And once you're looking through Detroit Lakes, 80 as well. And once you're getting through southeast North Dakota into portions of Valley City, into Oaks, 77 today in Valley City, 82 in Oaks. And system looks like that warm spot today, 85 for that high this afternoon. On your KVRR Weather Authority 7-day forecast, heading Into your Saturday, still waking up to those early morning showers with a high of 70. Sunday, we'll stay partly cloudy with a high of about 72. Looks like those lower 70s are going to take us to the beginning of your week as well. After we deal with a pretty cool start to your morning on Monday as well. A low of about 49. Heading through Tuesday into Wednesday, things do gradually get warmer with a high of about 78 on Thursday.
Thank you, Mariah. New this morning, a man is expected in court today after he was arrested following a shooting incident in Frazee, Minnesota. Officers responded around 11:30 Wednesday night on a report of gunshots on Lake Street. After the initial investigation, authorities determined the suspect may have been at a hotel in Perham. Frazee police, with the help from Perham Police, Otter Tail County Sheriff's deputies, and their SWAT team, the suspect was taken into custody. Police say there does not appear to be a threat to the public, as this was an isolated incident between known parties.
The suspect is expected to appear in Becker County Court today. It's an ongoing investigation, and there's no further information been released so far.
A major infrastructure project in downtown Fargo is limiting access this morning to parking on 1st Avenue South between 4th and 7th Streets near Block 6.
KVRR's Hamia Rain reports on why some tenants are upset and confused.
Take 2.
In late August, Campbell Properties sent an email to tenants stating, quote, there will be road construction either this fall or next spring on 1st Avenue South. The email confused those living in its apartment buildings while city contractors started redoing roads.
Naturally, it's presented some challenges. Of course, parking is a big one. It's already a little crammed, and then you take away spots on the street, along with there is underground parking also. So it has been a little bit frustrating. We've had to close one day due to water.
One lane is open for people to access the garage, but some are saying it's not enough space with a lot of construction nearby.
In the back, it's kind of goes as a first come, first serve with everyone in this building. So sometimes there is, days where unfortunately we can't park back there. I have about 17 employees. So you can imagine having everyone here, and then of course their clients in here can quickly add up to a lot more cars. Just in one business on this block.
City engineers say they reached out to Campbell 2 weeks ago, saying it's on the property manager to let tenants know of the project because of city policy. Campbell says the city had promised them temporary parking spots. A spokesperson for the property manager says they had no notice on the roads and was planning to push back against the city. Campbell Properties says the contractor will close the rest of 1st Avenue South from 7th Street to Broadway on Monday morning. That will last about 25 days.
The biggest thing is communication, making people aware, transparency, because it's a lot easier to understand and, do your best to work together through it as long as you're made aware of what's going on instead of feeling kind of blindsided with it all.
Hami Rain, KVRR Local News.
All right, take anchors.
City engineers apologize for the inconvenience. They say they're aware of how impactful this project is for the public.
Well, around 40 DFL members of the Minnesota House and Senate are now on record this morning opposing a special session to clear up the new law around physical restraint standards in schools. Representative Heather Keeler of Moorhead is among those who signed the letter. The law has caused a number of police departments and sheriff's offices to pull their school resource officers due to a threat of lawsuits. They were pulled in Moorhead and Clay County. Republicans want a special session. Democratic Governor Tim Walz has said he would support one if lawmakers come to him with a solution.
Well, officers have 4 people under arrest in an ongoing narcotics investigation in Fargo. Fargo PD and the Cass County Drug Task Force executed a knock and announce search warrant at a house in the 1400 block of 4th Avenue South. Happened around 9 Thursday morning. 64-year-old Lori Evelyn of Fargo is under arrest for possession of a controlled substance, drug paraphernalia, and a warrant. 38-year-old Wesley Thompson of Detroit Lakes had 3 warrants and is accused of providing false information to law enforcement and possession of stolen property. 29-year-old Coral Murphy, who's got no permanent address, and 44-year-old Allison Young of Fargo are both wanted on a warrant.
Advance.
$13,000 worth of M30 fentanyl pills are off the streets this morning after a drug search warrant in Moorhead leads to 2 arrests. There were around 1,300 pills. 23-year-old Zachary Roberson and Amy Mendez are facing drug and child endangerment charges. During the search Wednesday in the 1200 block of Bellesley Boulevard, officers found 2 kids present. Clay County Social Services was notified. They also found $2,700 in cash. And looking ahead today to weather, it looks like it is the start of a beautiful weekend, as you can see in our tower cam. Mariah, do we have anything we need to watch out for?
Not really, Adam. We're waking up to a nice start to your Friday. Temperatures more on the warmer side today, but I'll keep you up to date right here in about 1 minute.
You're watching KVRR Local News, where local news comes first.
Dissolve, go to break.
And then without the IFBs, it just causes more friction between production and the news team, and within the news team. But hey, you know, they get to save like about less than $200 altogether. What's $200? That they make that in like one ad block.
Yeah.
Ben says that he was able to find the parts real cheap, and they were like $40 to fix them.
Nice, but he can't buy them.
Yeah, Kathy said no.
Wow, that's.
That makes no sense.
That's unfortunate.
10. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, Moorhead. It is currently 8:11 this morning, and we are waking up and heading into a pretty nice start to Friday. If you're heading out to class today, you don't have too many things to worry about, but you may want to hold on to a lighter jacket or maybe even that warm cup of coffee to keep your hands warm as you're getting throughout the early morning hours. But things will feel a bit better by the time we're heading into your Friday afternoon. But let's talk about those temperatures right now. 55 here into Moorhead. Here is a look at A Street at Concordia. It seems like traffic is setting up and moving through pretty well at the intersection here. We shouldn't have too many things in our way, but I know there's still quite a good amount of construction over into portions of Moorhead within that area. So just giving yourself some time is always important. But if you take a look around the region, about 55 in Moorhead this morning once again, and 54 down into Oaks, and nice clear blue skies this morning as people are heading out to school, and 55 in Foster as well as in Fergus Falls. So pretty much uniform in terms of temperatures as we're starting out our day. But if we're heading into the afternoon, your out the door forecast, we're going to mostly stay in the upper 70s, lower 80s today, and we're heading into again a fairly nice afternoon, mostly sunny, and that nice clear weather does continue over into your Friday night. But we are going to wake up to some light showers on Saturday, so always keep that in mind as well. On your Weather Authority 7-day forecast, heading into portions of Sunday, 72 for the high on Sunday and 71 on Monday, a mostly sunny day overall. So your new work week is setting out to be pretty well and even pretty comfortable in terms of temperatures, Adam.
Hi, looking forward to all these nice warm temperatures and beautiful weekend. About perfect this time of year.
It is.
Hi, thanks, Mariah.
No.
New this morning, a 3-year-long drought
Corn.
is threatening farmers and cornfields all across Minnesota.
John Lauritsen reports.
Take 2.
You can go 2 miles and have guys that were catching rain events all year, and then people that haven't had rain in 2 months.
Near the town of Elgin, seed dealers from Minnesota and Wisconsin have gathered to talk crops and Mother Nature. They're comparing notes on what grows best in a drought.
Hybrids and varieties that are tolerant to dry weather overall. We're back-to-back years in southeast Minnesota, western Wisconsin overall has been very dry.
When it comes to rain, experts say it's best to look at it like a bank. There are a lot of rain deposits in the springtime, but now there's a serious deficit. No one is feeling that more than farmers near Rochester, where many fields haven't seen significant rainfall in a month.
The precipitation pretty much just stopped for several weeks. We've gotten about 10 inches of rainfall this summer, so that's quite low.
It's about half of what they normally see. Ryan Miller of University of Minnesota Extension says last week's extreme heat with overnight lows in the 80s was a major blow, and it may have caused some cornfields to shut down weeks ahead of time.
It looks like we fast forwarded from August to October.
Well, he says some of these fields could be harvested already. The yield won't be good. Any rain they get from here on out will help next year's crop, not this one.
Certainly, this is the worst I've ever seen it as far as drought conditions and stress that the crop's been under all year.
All right. Yep.
Oh, it's tough news for farmers this year.
Yeah.
Well, we have quite a birthday present for one young girl.
See what she found buried in a state park in today's Ag Day Minute.
I'm Clinton Griffiths with today's Ag Day Minute. The World Food Program says it's having to cut assistance to 10 million people. Now, it said it had to cut food assistance to 2 million in Afghanistan alone this month. And that brings the total number of Afghans who have lost its assistance this year to 10 million people. Leaders say it's due to a massive funding shortfall, and it's reported the program is often the last lifeline for women with dwindling options for making a living and feeding their children. The organization says it needs $1 billion over the next 6 months in order to feed those in need. Now, last year, 650,000 Americans, over 80, were still working. The Census Bureau says that's up 18% from the previous decade. It reports there will be twice as many 75-year-old plus workers in the year 2030 than in the year 2020. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says that's due in part to the aging baby boomer generation. And check out what a 7-year-old girl dug up in Arkansas. That's a nearly 3-carat golden brown diamond. Aspen Brown spent her birthday at Crater of Diamonds State Park, where visitors are allowed to search for and keep a variety of rocks, minerals, and even diamonds. Park officials say it was probably unearthed when a contractor dug a trench. They say it was the second biggest diamond discovered this year. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays on the station or anytime over at agweb.com.
Nice birthday gift.
Yeah, it's a pretty color too.
Yeah. Well, September is Suicide Prevention Month. We are highlighting ways to try and prevent an all-too-preventable tragedy.
In 2 minutes, we're going to hear from a mom who lost her child to suicide. See how she's trying to prevent other families from enduring a similar tragedy.
3, 2, 1. Dissolve. Take a break.
Come and visit Lake Bronson.
You know what Emily reminds me of?
What?
The have you seen what's the one show? I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson.
Sounds familiar.
It sounds familiar.
We'll show you the clip later.
Okay.
You're talking about it this morning on social media.
These are the stories who are making big buzz today. Okay, so Jimmy Fallon is apologizing to his staff over allegations about a difficult work environment at The Tonight Show. The allegations first came out in a story by Rolling Stone Thursday. The magazine cites 16 unnamed current and former employees who described a difficult work environment on the show. Some had said it was detrimental to their mental health.
In a follow-up, the magazine says Fallon apologized to staff members during a Zoom call that was held after the original story was published.
Yeah.
The magazine cited unnamed employees who were on the call. According to the magazine, Fallon said he wants the show to be fun and it should be inclusive to everybody. In a statement, NBC told Rolling Stone the network encourages employees report their concerns.
What is going on with these talk shows?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Ellen, Jimmy, and two of the late night hosts who have the most kind of, you know, their public persona is, hey, I'm a nice person.
Jolly, you know, approachable James Corden, remember, kind of the same sort of vibe. And then behind the scenes, people are saying, no.
That's why you should watch grumpy people like us.
Yes, it's not just sleep deprivation.
Yeah, because we may not be holly jolly all the time, but at least we treat people with respect.
We're
hopefully.
real, let's put it that way.
I don't know, we'll ask Mariah what she thinks in a minute.
Right.
Well, the maker of an extremely spicy tortilla chip marketed as the One Chip Challenge is pulling the product from its shelves.
Take 1.
Pocky says the move is out of an abundance of caution after teens started participating in the challenge, which is meant for adults. The challenge involves eating just one chip, but the chip is described as one of the spiciest in the world, according to the company's website. The chips contain seasoning from a Carolina Reaper pepper and a Naga Viper pepper.
Pocky said in a statement the chips are not intended for anyone with sensitivity to spicy foods, food allergies, or those with underlying health conditions. The company is offering refunds on the single-serve product. A Massachusetts family says their 14-year-old son died hours after taking part in the One Chip Challenge last week. They are waiting for an official cause of death from the Massachusetts Medical Examiner's autopsy, but they're convinced it was the chip that made their son sick.
Wow.
Remember, this is the same chip that made that anchor. It was a morning show anchor, wasn't it?
No, I remember that.
She grew up on the air, right?
Yeah, because she ate the chip and then went to take a drink and happened to take a drink of her coffee.
Don't do that.
Yeah, that was just one thing after another. But yeah,
basic chemistry. If it's hot, it's going to accelerate the chemical reaction in your mouth.
and also, you know, coffee and, you know, nacho cheese, Carolina Reaper. You know. Well, the NFL season is here. One husband is getting notice because he gave his wife notice. He says he won't be available for work on game days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She is scoring with her comeback, as Jeannie Mose reports.
You think these are hard knocks?
Actually, this is a hard knock when your husband hands you a letter and asks you to read it out loud.
However, I must with remiss inform you that I am putting in my 2 weeks' notice.
The NFL season was about to come to pass. Callie Wilson's husband, Dan, couldn't pass on this joke.
I will no longer be available for work on Sundays, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., Monday evenings nor Thursday evenings due to conflicting commitments.
Genius, priceless, hilarious, posted football widows and football fans alike. But the Salt Lake City father of two wasn't done, informing his wife that she was infusing IV antibiotics for an infection.
I'll also be available every Saturday.
Kelly chuckled her way through the reading, evidently got a kick out of it. As one poster commented, "At least you will have Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays." Dan informed Callie that the schedule would be in effect till February, March.
Thank you for your understanding.
Callie got offers. So, is the position available? And advice, girl, hire a temp. Instead, she returned his resignation.
Sorry, you can't quit. We're short-staffed.
She whistled that letter. Dead. Jeannie Most, CNN, New York.
Talk about a ball buster. And what are you buzzing about this morning? We'd love to hear about it on Facebook, Twitter, and of course on Instagram. And I do have one kind of cool KVRR pic to show you this morning. A very beautiful photo actually sent in by Tina, taken in Findlay. A very beautiful butterfly here, just resting on the flower there. It even matches its wings, kind of seeing some oranges in there. Again, a very beautiful photo. So thank you for this photo, Tina. And then lastly, I'd like to say happy early birthday to our very own Adam Ladwig. I know he's gonna take some time off and kind of rest as he should, but yeah, I just wanted to say happy birthday, Adam. You know, you're an amazing person.
That's very kind of you. That's very sweet. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Hey, my birthday is on Sunday, so I'm going to pull what that husband did and just be unavailable to do any work at all
It's
all
your
day.
birthday. That's
Yeah,
fine.
You should.
yeah, yeah, and it's going to be my birthday every Sunday till February now.
Good luck with that.
But my real birthday is this Sunday.
He's gonna come back like in, spring at like 3,000 years old.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Well, thank you very much, Mariah. Well, speaking of football, the NFL is back, and we are in the midst of week one of the regular season. The opening game last night was awesome and 1-point nail-biter. But how will the Vikings do this year?
Well, we are asking Fox NFL analyst and 3-time Super Bowl champion Mark Schlereth. Get his expert insights after the break.
This should be enjoyable too. Adam really just very gouged on the Vikings.
I don't remember.
Reopen swoosh and then play the video. There's no swoosh on top of the video.
Reopen swoosh.
Okay, that's simple enough.
Okay. Okay.
He's coming here.
He's coming in here. Well, I need to know your size
15.
and color and.
Apparently, I am not a medium unisex because this thing is huge
10.
on me.
I have to go to Hobby Lobby.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're watching KVRR Local News, where local news comes first.
Take 2.
Well, he is a 3-time Super Bowl champion, a Fox NFL analyst, and he owns his own line of green chili sauce. So we can't think of anyone better to ask about tailgate season as the NFL season gets underway than Mark Schlereth. He's joining us this morning from Denver. Thank you so much for coming on, Mark.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And when we're talking home gating or tailgating, if you're going to stay home to watch it, it always starts with the television set, the LG OLED C3 TV, the go-to television set, bright colors, crisp pictures. LG OLED celebrated as the best TV by experts worldwide. Whether you're watching football, movies, or gaming, it's always better on LG OLED C3 television from 42 to 83 inches. LG.com for more information. Then you got to have great stuff to eat. Hearty turkey sausage, butterballs, hearty turkey sausage links. Perfect for game day. Pre-cooked, only takes minutes to heat up on the grill. Robust flavor, served on a toasted bun or sauteed with veggies. It's delicious. Butterball.com for more information. And then you got to have some dessert. How about slinging out an ice cream cake at halftime? Oh, your guests are going to love it. Carvel ice cream cakes. You can find them in the local grocery store. In your local grocery store, the bakery freezer case. The game ball cake was what they're featuring right now for a limited time. Now after the Super Bowl, that's a game ball cake. You can find out more information at iloveicecreamcakes.com. KVRR.com. Absolutely delicious. And now it's about football. Let's get rolling.
Yeah,
It's
let's
time.
get rolling. All right, so Marco, we can catch you on Sundays on Fox right here on KVRR calling games, and this is Vikings country, and everyone's talking about Justin Jefferson right now. They're working on a potential contract extension. Do you think that that's something that they'll be able to get done before the season starts in just a couple days?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I mean, you just saw Nick Bosa get signed by San Francisco, one of the great defensive players in the National Football League. I think they'll be able to find an opportunity to get Justin Jefferson signed, and this guy, not only a phenomenal football player, and he plays X receiver, he plays motions into the F, he can play Z. I mean, he's all over the football field. He is a weapon, but I'm telling you what a great young man. So much fun to meet with, so energetic, just an absolute unbelievable smile. He's one of those guys that's just easy to root for because he's a great player, but a great young man.
And do you think that he could potentially be the first receiver to get 2,000 yards in a season, or even potentially win MVP, especially since Adam Thielen, his partner, is gone this year for the Vikings?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's always nice to have secondary guys to take some pressure off you, but they find ways every game to get him the ball, and he is, like I said, just a phenomenal football player. So, yeah, I think he's got an opportunity to go over 2,000. I mean, it would be an incredible feat. There's no question about that. So he certainly has that potential. He's certainly that good a wide receiver. There's no question. So, but all those things, those are hard. The bottom line with him is, as cool as that record would be, he's more concerned about winning in the playoffs, winning in the regular season, and getting in the playoffs and winning in the playoffs than he is about 2,000 yards. So he'll do whatever he has to do to help his team win on a week-to-week basis.
And of course, I mean, Justin Jefferson and a lot of people would love to see the Vikings in the playoffs again. They won the NFC North 13 games last year, but they lost in the wild card round to the New York Giants. A lot of people are picking maybe the Lions to win the NFC North this year. Where do you think the Vikings land in the division this year, and do they make the playoffs in your opinion?
Yeah, well, I think they're probably one of the most talented teams in the division, but I think you look at Green Bay, I think they'll be sneaky. I think Jordan Love's ready to play, and I think he's pretty good. Chicago's always tricky with their quarterback in Justin Fields. So, and everybody's predicting the Lions. They're a big physical football team. We'll see. I don't know if they win the division, but I do think they're going to be a playoff team once again this year in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah, well, a lot of Vikings fans are thrilled to hear you say that. I have one more question. I want to go back a few years to 1998 and Super Bowl 33. You, of course, the Denver Broncos, played in that game, your third Super Bowl. That image of you and John Elway lying on the ground at the goal line is iconic. I love that picture. And a lot of people thought that year you were going to play the Vikings in that Super Bowl, but they lost the NFC Championship game in heartbreaking fashion. People are still sad about it 25 years later. But in your opinion, if the Vikings won that game, if Gary Anderson made that kick and they won that NFC Championship game, how would Super Bowl 33 have shaken out?
We'd have crushed the Vikings. And with that, I got to go. But good talking to you. There's no question. We'd have crushed them.
Okay, well, yeah, you probably got to leave. You leave pretty quickly after saying that. Thank you so much, Mark, from a Denver kid. It's thrilling to talk to you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
My pleasure. Take care, Adam.
You too. Thanks, Mark. And of course, we're back with one last check of the weather after the break, if any Vikings fans are still watching.
Nice. Very nice.
God.
Heavy 12.
If you're a Trekkie, like I am, here's some of the props from my desk that I have every day.
Look at the trebles, they're so cute.
Yes, a lot of trouble with those. But every day is a day to celebrate Star Trek, but everyone can be an honorary Trekkie today, because today is Star Trek Day, observed around the world every year on September 8th. Why September 8th? Because it was on that date in 1966 that Star Trek was introduced on American television, starring William Shatner, Captain James T. Kirk. That first pilot episode was called The Man Trap, and the show became a huge hit, and it's still up today. Movies, shows, books, games, everything.
It explored morality using science fiction narratives and deep character development. Star Trek is also known for being one of the first television shows to feature a cast that was filled with diversity. So be sure to celebrate and to live long and prosper.
Speaking of live long and prosper,
Aww.
that was me at 4 years old. I told you I'm a Trekkie. I was born and raised with it. My dad loved the original show as a kid. He passed that on to me. Some of my earliest memories watching Star Trek, and that was the first Halloween I got to pick my own costume.
That is awesome
Went
that
to
you
Spock.
went with Spock, who is just like a timeless character,
Yes.
right?
Oh yeah, very very timeless. No matter who plays him, I love the rendition of Spock in Strange New Worlds, played by Ethan Peck. Strange New Worlds, amazing show. That's where that creepy image of Photoshop came from. And also,
Anson Mount.
yes, I'm Captain Pike. You're La'an, Noonien Singh, and then Mariah is Lieutenant, or I guess not Lieutenant at that time, Ensign Nyota Uhura.
Okay.
Pretty cool. And then I also want to highlight this shirt. This is a gift from our graphics operator Danielle, who makes these horrifying Photoshops every day. If you've seen Star Trek Strange New Worlds, if you've specifically seen the musical episode, this is a reference to possibly one of the greatest moments in Star Trek history. I love it. Thank you for the shirt, Danielle. A wonderful early birthday
By
present.
the time we get there, it'll...
Yes, very, very much so, very much so. And hopefully it's just t-shirt weather this weekend, Mariah.
Adam, we're heading into some pretty comfortable and nice temperatures as you're getting into your weekend. You're going to deal with some early morning showers heading through Saturday, but again, you won't have too much in your way. Temperatures as of right now through the morning about 60 degrees, and we're heading into a warmer day overall with temperatures rising to about the upper 70s, lower 80s. But again, if you're heading through your Sunday, you want to take a look at those temperatures right here, mostly staying again in those lower 70s Sunday into Monday.
Go where a few people have probably gone before.
Yes, it's true.
They've been added since what, the 60s? So yeah.
Yeah. Don't boldly go where no one has gone before, because that probably means you're driving off the road.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No, but it looks like an absolutely wonderful weekend. Got football and Star Trek. I feel like an early birthday present for me.
Right? You got to get the party started right away.
Oh yeah, I got it started. I got my toys. I got my
Yeah.
shirt. And you can catch all of your news, weather, and sports. Catch our interview with Mark Schlereth on KVRR.com and the Weather Authority app.
That's right. Check out KVRR local news tonight at 6 and 9, and we will see you. Well, I will see you. He'll be off for his birthday bright and early Monday morning.
Live long and prosper.